This is the way.
Thank Criff, it's Tom's Day, everybody, because this is the Waypoint, the one and only Star Wars discussion right here on the Shared Screens Podcast Network. My name is Chris, aka RoboPack92, and I will be your host tonight because I have the Mandalorian talking hammer. All right, it's me. It's my turn to speak. I love that the Mandalorian cover had a talking stick. That's amazing. That's incredible. I have the talking stick. It's my turn to speak. Anyway, we are here to talk about. I didn't write down what number episode this is. What
21.
Chapter 21,
the pilot.
episode 5 of season 3 of the Mandalorian. We have an incredible cast here today with me, as always. Some other Josh, Jordan, Deeb, Alec, Bob.
Try it again.
Alec Bobco.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
Yeah.
Like me. Pour one out for them.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Watch the videos, please. But also listen to it on audio if you're in the car or something. Please don't watch this while driving your hot rodded in one spaceship.
I mean, yeah,
Y'all?
you could have YouTube Premium and just listen to audio. You can do that.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do. I would really like maybe like some higher view counts on our YouTube channel, and maybe you want to subscribe there if you haven't before already. And anyway, and enough of this talking, because boys, a new episode of The Mandalorian came out, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it because Rebels fans stay eating, baby. That's what we're gonna talk about right off the bat. Eating good. The boy Zeb made his very first live action appearance, the first, I believe, Laysat that we ever see in live action. We got close with Jedi Fallen Order, which was kind of like the first time that we see one like not stylized in animation, right? But of course, it's still a video game, and so we got to see somehow Steve Bloom has returned, and we got to see Zeb in live action, and I was just screaming. Did Twitter spoil that for me because I forgot what day it was, and I checked Twitter when I got up this morning? Yes. Was it still awesome when I got to see it in the episode? Also, yes.
Which character was this?
The guy in the awesome
blue
New Rebellion or New Republic.
So,
Gotcha.
at the bit where the X-Wing pilot is like in the bar, and this big alien dude comes up and walks next to him, and he's got like a
Star
vaguely
Wars
Australian accent. Yeah, vaguely Australian accent. He's one of the Ghost crew in Rebels. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched Rebels, you should. It's really
Pretty good.
We've been telling
Really
you for
good.
years at this point.
I can't tell if you're talking to me or the audience, and I know it's both.
Everybody.
Everyone
is the answer to that.
Everyone.
Yeah, anyone and everyone.
I think this is the best translation from animation to live action we've ever gotten.
yeah.
Like between like Cad Bane and Book of Boba Fett, a couple other like some other species we've seen in.
I liked Cad Bane a lot
animation.
in it. I'm glad that they went for full CG for Zeb.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, same here. I gotta say about this scene though. Obviously, fucking stand up applaud moment, fucking get hype cameo, immediately broke my heart. Because there's an alternate universe out there where Gina Carano isn't a scumfuck piece of shit, and we get a Rangers of the New Republic show, and we get more Zeb. We get more Zeb as a pilot, more
You're
Cara
true.
Dune,
Why you do
more
this to me,
Dave-
Josh?
more
Why you do
Dave
this to me?
Filoni, more this
Yeah,
cool
man.
pilot guy. We get them hanging out, being buds. Maybe we get some more Ghost Crew. But it broke my heart. I was like, God fucking damn you,
Yeah,
Gina
I know
Carano.
because those parts
I'm
of this
like
episode
Twitter
were...
so I can talk shit to you right now, Gina
Let's
Carano.
fucking go!
Right?
I'll fuck you right now, Gina Carano.
Because there's an alternate universe out there where Rangers of the New Republic is going, and we get Zeb, and it is good. And we don't. This is our shitty reality, all right. And I'm
Yeah,
fucking
man.
pissed about it.
Because the rumors around the r/Star Wars Leaks Reddit sphere is that what would have been the plot of the Rangers of the New Republic shows are kind of getting folded into the other sort of like Mando verse as people call it. And that was very clear, I think, with this episode. Like I have a strong suspicion that a lot of the plot that we've seen here would have been part of the Rangers of the New Republic. And so at least it's not going to waste. I'm glad that it's not just sorry, not happening anymore.
Right.
But yeah, those were kind of like my favorite parts of this episode, and I would love to have that as its own show. Just do it without Gina. Who cares? Just do it without her. Who gives a shit? She's not a great actress anyway.
Recast.
I would love it if Cara Dune just fell off the face of the earth. Like they definitely had a line at the beginning of the season where it's like she had to leave. They just never bring her up again.
I mean, we talked about that first episode. Y'all could have just said she blew up on some.
It's the Simpsons. His spaceship blew up on the way back to her home planet, bro. Like it's over. She's dead.
Literally, we didn't have to say she got reassigned, bro. She's dead. All right, we're moving on.
It's so good. All right, in my Rebels fandom hype, we skipped over what we usually do at the beginning of this episode. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts and feelings on this week's episode. Josh, hit me with it, man. How'd you enjoy episode 5 of season 3?
I loved it, but also broke my heart for that, and then broke my heart because the action in this episode is so fucking good. It just made me want a video game with all this. When we're airdropping Mandalorians over a fucking city, and
I'm so glad you said that. If we had a Star Wars battle royale, that's the concept right there. Right, Mandalorians.
Literally. And so
Mandalorian's training ground. Boom.
Exactly. Oh, you've done it. That's it. Somebody, somebody call Sorensen. Get him on the phone.
Literally. Do I have a pitch for you, my young Benjamin?
I've got an idea. I'm gonna go tweet John Drake right now.
Yes, that's who I was thinking of. I was like, it's got to be John Drake.
So as much as I loved it, I was like, man, like I want this New Republic show. I want this. This video game. But yeah, the action, the flight choreography in these dogfights stays winning in season 3. It's absolutely incredible. The action all around, and love the build up where we're building to with episode 6, and we got Bryce Dallas Howard joint next week. So the setup for this, for her to just take off and fucking hit a home run, I'm excited.
Shout out, though, to this week's director. Let me look up his name again real fast. Hold on, scrolling. Got Peter Ramsey. Couldn't remember off the top of my head. Who is also one of the directors of Into the Spider-Verse. Which probably nice. Which, dude makes good stuff, apparently. Dude just
don't miss.
Just cranking out quality.
This is his first Mandalorian episode, right?
Yeah. Star Wars debut, honestly, I think, as a whole. Nailed it.
Dude, give him another one. Give him another one.
Yeah.
Give him Rangers of the Republic, 100%. Bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Kick Gina Carano out. Have Peter Ramsey directed. Done.
Wow.
Alex, how'd you feel about this week's episode, man? Yeah, actually, it's free real estate, bro. Just come ask us. All I want to do is make Star Wars for you, Lucasfilm. Just let me do it, please.
And you would really
just make me your
how
idea,
cheap
man.
We will sell these ideas to.
I'll do it for $5 and a pass to the Jedi Survivor preview event. Come on.
That literally happened today.
Yeah, I saw that all the press stuff went out. I'm really, really excited for that. Alec, how'd you feel about this week's episode, man?
I really enjoyed this episode. Like, we had gushed about at the beginning, just Rebels fans eating good. Great tease toward the end of another Rebels character that may be coming this season. I might have put that prediction out there in one of our previous podcasts. Just no big deal. And yeah, just like Josh said, the action on Navarro was just amazing. And them getting kind of hinting at what the rest of this season is going to be about. It was actually really cool because up until this point, we really haven't had any idea of what the rest of the season was going to be. So it's cool to have some sort of direction at this point in the show.
If it does feel like there's a more defined goal now. I do think that there has been a recurring theme throughout this season of sort of like defining what it is to be a Mandalorian, right? And I like how that sort of comes to a head in this one with the really, really fantastic scene at the end of the episode with Bo-Katan and the armorer, who really cool character shift that I kind of wasn't expecting of her being like, you know what, our way isn't the only way. And there has to be somebody to bring all of these people together and to have us take Mandalore back once more. And so I love
Like,
that it appears like the goal of maybe this season or just kind of the show moving on even into the next couple seasons of bringing Mandalore back.
Yeah, like the line that I think really resonated with me was like, "You walk both worlds." Like she's done, the Death Watch. She's done, the bit with the covert. Like you're the one to bring us together. You held the Darksaber at one point. Like you are the person.
Yeah. Yeah, I really, really like that. Just I think that was something that I wasn't expecting because I've kind of sat here. I'm like, the Armor is the crazy cult leader, like kind of bad news. And then she turned around and she's like, hey, you know what? We can walk our way and other people can walk their way too. Let's just go be Mandalorians again. And so I really like that. And what I was expecting a bit of like a heel turn from her in this season. And then it turns out she's a face after all, despite never showing her face. That's a wrestling joke for you guys. You're welcome. Jordan, how'd you feel about this week's episode, man?
I loved it for probably different reasons, I guess, since I didn't have like the Rebels hype behind it. But I think
which you should watch.
In the same vein, I will at some point eventually. There's a lot of things on this eventually list, but someday, before my time comes, it'll happen. But I think this was like a big turning point for me with this group of Mandalorians as well, and I think it's because they were finally framed in a way where, and I know we've talked about this before, where like Mandalorian is both kind of a culture, but it is also a religion. It kind of blurs the lines between the two, and I think this one having the emphasis on like we don't have a homeland, but like we still want somewhere to bring this culture. That's what struck home with me is, Chris, I think me and you are always like the most cautious about them because like we grew up in like religious families and like we've seen
we've seen how it works, man. Yeah.
But I also grew up in like an immigrant household where like those grasping onto traditions happen for very different reasons. Right. It happens because you don't want to lose yourself in the other world that you're now in. And I think that it showed that they kind of learned that lesson as well. Like you said at the end when the Armor goes, as long as we're all Mandalorians, who cares if some people want to do things one way, others want to do it the other. We should be able to live together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think that lined up with all the New Republic and rise of the remnants of the Empire staying all tie in together personally. And I think I'm starting to finally see how it's all going to go down.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that. That sort of like threading the needle that they've done. I think of being like, hey, these are our beliefs. This is the way that we live our lives. But there are also others who don't, and that's fine. They're still Mandalorians. It kind of seems like the Armor is sort of dropping that idea. It's like it's our way or the highway, and now it's like, well, maybe not. And that's all like, because of Bo-Katan being like, hey, I saw a fucking mythosaur, Well,
that, and then I think part of that speech that Din Djarin was giving about like, hey, we can have a spot on Navarro. We can have our kids play in the sunshine again. Like, we don't have to hide underground. Like, I think we don't have
to have our kids, taken by a big dragon every week or attacked by
the amount of giant alligator lizards that they've been attacked by in the last like month, they're like, we gotta go somewhere, bro.
Yeah. Anywhere's better than here.
Get out of here. And they had to listen to him because he had the talking hammer.
Also, noticing we did not see the baby dragons from last week. So I think that was so last week we were kind of going between, are they going to raise them as Mandalorians because they're foundlings, or are they going to eat them? I think we got confirmation that they ate those things.
They for sure ate them.
There's still
nice hearty stew,
Well, dude, when they call for when they call for reinforcements in the finale, and they're just fucking like Moff Gideon's ship shows up, and they're just fucking attacked by these dragons, bro. It's gonna be the hype as shit, man.
Dragons coming out with Beskar helmets, bro. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't even want it to be like a full helmet. Give me like just like how they dress up animals in like a lot of like a post-apocalyptic stuff, like with spikes and just like one shoulder guard, but like of all Beskar.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool actually. All right, well now that we've got general impressions out of the way, I liked the episode. By the way, that's my impression. Very good. Please give us a Mandalorian battle royale, Disney games, please. There are of course some talking points that I would love to go over as usual. Just things that I liked or stuff that I want to discuss with you guys. I dropped my pen. Pardon me. Is well, I guess number one we already covered. Zeb, the boy, showed up. Love him. Looked amazing. Very happy.
In this bar scene though, we got it sounded like the same band that starts Jedi Fallen Order, and I love that. That music, that zooey, babooey, I was like, oh my god, okay, shit.
Well, this one's actually the cover band.
I just want to send that bar, be like, play Sugan Esena, come on.
Literally. So
What's the
This
Star Wars
call back to
equivalent to Wonderwall? So that way they can just be like, anyway, here's Gulp Shittingolo.
Yeah, here's an ode to Glup Shitto.
Like I was saying though, this is just Star Wars Top Gun.
It really is. That's a great way to put it. It really is, man.
Like it's the hangars, the bar, and everything. It's just Star Wars Top Gun.
And we could have had more of that with Zeb as Goose or Iceman or some. I haven't seen those movies, but you know.
Some gotta change
I've
that.
seen those movies. I think these are you got it though. I think you nailed it pretty well.
But you know, some people just have to ruin shit for the rest of us. So thank you.
Yeah, we won't
Thank you,
name names
Jim
or anything though.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Uh,
I can keep proud.
Let it be known, Josh will fight Gina Carano. Oh, we're off the rails today, boys. I fucking love it. I do want to shout out that bar scene though. I have some breaking news from one Aaron 427 friend of the show who says that we got 2 cameos in that there's cantina scene. One, of course, is Zav. The other is Mr. Dave Filoni himself, whose cowboy hat can be seen on set. Dave Filoni's hat is now canon in Star Wars, and I love that.
Oh my gosh.
So do we think this is like he put it there as like a little Easter egg, or is this a Game of Thrones Starbucks cup situation?
That's for sure. It's for sure there, and on purpose. Because I mean, Filoni also played a New Republic X-wing a few times at this point. Travis Wolf is his name.
That dude is like literally just going to like go take a piss or whatever, and just left his like cowboy hat on the table.
Yeah,
right? He's like, I'll be right back, and then they're playing like Space Pool and shit, listening to Zooey Bomber.
You can actually get his helmet like from he's part of the Black Series helmet now. The Trapper Wolf is, and I believe they sold a Black Series figure of him at Celebration last year, and Paz Vizsla as well. And if you took the helmet off, it has Jon Favreau's face.
Favreau's.
Is Favreau still voicing Paz? It doesn't sound like him anymore.
He's always sounded that way. I think it's just like some voice.
Yeah, I need to check the
modulator
credits
stuff.
again. Yeah, maybe they've just adjusted the like how much it sounds like him.
Right.
Let's see. Going through my notes here, we covered Zeb. I did ask, is Zeb a pilot now? Clearly, he's got the outfit. Very cool. I like the blue. I wonder what kind of ship it is that he flies. Maybe a U-wing.
If only we could see on a weekly basis.
Shucks, darn. Because people have to ruin things.
Josh, if we wanted to be angry, who would we be angry at?
Gina fucking Carano, bro.
Imagine Disney comes to you and they say, hey, we want you to star in your own TV show. You're going to make Star Wars money for the rest of your life. And she went, no, I'm going to tweet about how the vaccine is basically Nazism. And I'm like, okay.
I'm going to go star in Ben Shabibo movies. Like, come on, bro. Fumble the bag, bro. Fumble the fucking bag, you
fumbled
idiot.
it so hard. With the appearance of Zeb, I feel like have to ask the question for people who have seen Rebels, like where Zeb is, Callus usually follows. Where's my boy Callus? Is he safe?
Yeah.
Is he all right?
Question. Great question.
Taking a
If
piss
only we
next
got
to
to
Dave
see on a
Filoni.
weekly basis.
He's pissing next to Dave Filoni. Oh my god! What'd you guys talk about on the Star Wars podcast today? How often Dave Filoni pees?
Peas. The space bars.
Technically, it's about his OC, you know, his self-insert character.
Self-insert. Bro, if I directed Star Wars, I would put myself in that shit so fast. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah.
It's like
Dude,
immediately.
I would be the Manuel Miranda of Star Wars. I'd be like, no, I'm writing it, I'm directing it, I'm starring it. I got this.
Everyone get out. I've got this now.
Yeah, it'd be like Sylvester Stallone in Spy Kids 3. Like, it's just me in different costumes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just you the whole time. I love that idea. Again,
Yeah.
hey, Disney, just hit us up. We've got ideas.
John Drake, come on.
We're cooking right now. Let us cook, Disney. Let us cook. What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't know.
I think we're
You said, where's Zeb's friend?
yeah. Zeb's friend Callus. Yes,
Callus,
that's right. I feel like I've talked about the talking hammer scene a lot, but I did just love that Star Wars put in like a had me in the first half moment with Paz Vizsla's little speech. She's like, "Yo, Din Djarin straight up sucks, but we're gonna go do this."
We risked so much for him and this kid, and then his kid kicked my kid's ass in fucking paintball. But he also saved my kid. Him and Bo-Katan Kryze, they're pretty cool. We should go actually fight and throw them in our
Yeah,
laps.
he's like, actually, they're pretty chill. Let's go save them.
I
was like,
bro.
See, I didn't expect that he was gonna, like, when he started talking about like how much it means to save a foundling, and us knowing of course that his got saved last week. But then he kept talking about the amount of times. I really thought his speech was gonna go the angle of like, and I would do it. I just need to know why people keep wanting to kill this kid. And it was I thought that maybe Din would tell them the truth, and that was going to lead into a rift between them, because they don't want anything to do with the Jedi or Force sensitive, or kind of, they don't really want anything to do with the outside world anyway, let alone kind of everything that's been at the crux of all these political changes.
If last week they saw this 1 foot, maybe 2 foot little dude do a backflip, triple backflip over the kid, and then backflip back and shoot him with 3 paintballs. If they can't tell that kid's force sensitive off that alone,
Right?
these guys are fucking up,
That's
right?
it, it's over.
They have to. Yeah.
I mean, Josh, you are talking about the people that did get attacked multiple times by giant monsters
that's
and
so
stayed
true.
in the same exact place.
How do they know he's not like just a frog race and he can just like jump really high?
Okay, good point. And then, yeah, maybe we'll have to reveal that. But for me, I'm hoping they already know, and they're like, "All right, well,
Yeah,
our life for this kid."
I do appreciate though that something that I've just kind of wanted to see for a while, which is a Din Paz friendship. I've wanted them to mend those bridges for a while, and so now they can just compete to be the best dad in Mandalorian, in the Mando Coven.
Exactly.
They're just like. I like to think that Grogu and little Glup Shido Vizsla, I don't remember his name, get to be like, my dad can beat up your dad. Ragnar maybe.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna get this plot of land. They're gonna like compete who has the best backyard. Who has
Absolutely. They're like, right. check how neatly I've trimmed my
block party,
my
a
yard.
Mandalorian block party.
One of them's gonna pull out like. Oh, that would be fucking dope. I was gonna say, like, Din pulls out a little weed whacker that has just a tiny lightsaber, and it's like the newest like model.
They're seeing who's bringing best ribs at the cookout, like shit like that.
Yeah, I got the Kadu ribs, bro. Let's go. They're all drinking spotchka through straws because they can't take any of their helmets off.
Well, we found out last week the cookout is them all going to get food and then just fucking off their own separate ways. And
yeah, they're like, all right, see you later.
Whoever's backyard they're hanging out at, they get to like stay around because they're head of the hunt or whatever the fuck.
They're like, all right, see you later. Don't fly drunk.
Yeah.
What is this show, bro?
We're cooking, bro.
Shout out to the Star Wars pirates who straight up look like space pirates. I really like their Swamp Thing captain. They've all got like genuinely real piratey things going on. But there's one that I wanted to point out, which is the character who appears to be the first mate on the ship, wearing a red hat and a white and blue striped shirt. I was like, oh my god, it's Space Me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wasn't fighting. He was just like the assistant.
He was just there.
Yeah.
He was just there, and he was dressed like Smee, but in space, and I love him.
Also,
R.I.P.
so we're talking space pirates.
Yar.
Give me my space pirate boy from Rebels. Give me
Bro,
Hondo.
if we're bringing Rebels
Talk about-
characters, we've already it's like what's his name? Vane is the same species.
Yeah,
They can do it.
it's like,
They can do it. Give us
It's-
Hondo.
You're talking space pirates. The most famous space pirate in Star Wars. Give us to him.
Space pirate
literally.
Hondo Onaka, which even if we're like, well, they might not be able to do the prosthetics for that species. One, Vane is the same species. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But two, they have a live action Hondo already set up because boys and girls, non-binaries, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone of any orientation, whatever the fuck, I'm losing my train of thought. If you go to Galaxy's Edge and ride the Smuggler's Run, they have an animatronic of Hondo Onaka who comes up. He's like, yes, hello, my friends. But if the animatronic is not working, they cover it up and they have on the video screens a man in a Hondo Onaka suit, prosthetics and all, and they have the voice actor dub over this guy doing the thing. It's the only time there's an actual genuine live action Hondo Onaka. What I'm saying is it can be done.
So just
Give
do
us
it.
Hondo.
Just do it.
Ben Sorensen, I'm
Actually,
begging you to bring Hondo Onaka.
You will love this character, Jordan. Whenever
Yeah.
you do get to,
I mean,
yeah.
I love space pirates. Like when I played Outer Worlds, I was like I put all my points into charisma and shooting. So I was like, I'm gonna convince you or I'm gonna shoot you. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Hondo is one of my all-time favorite Star Wars characters. I've got the Galaxy's Edge figure of him lying over here. In fact, it's in the big box. It wouldn't show up on camera, but he's there. Let's see. I have basically 2 more points here. One is that R5's a fucking snitch, bro. So
Little bit.
sold him out immediately.
break
He's like,
his
yeah, they're
knees.
right here. What? And that's word for word too. R5's a fucking snitch, bro. Is how I.
Which, you know, the town getting invaded by pirates. I don't know why Carl Weathers just went to this one like Republic officer right off the rip instead of just going to the boy Mando. Like your homeboy's already gunned down this dude's pirates and is like part of the reason you're mad. Plus, like he's mad. Plus, he's a Mandalorian, dude. Like they get shit done. Like why wouldn't you just go to?
Does he even know where Din is?
Probably not. Probably not. So that's why. But you got to be able to like get a transmission out to the N1 or somehow or something. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. Weird that they went that route, but also at the same time, I loved going that route because I just love seeing the New Republic just being shit, just absolute shit. It sets up for like how easy like the First Order is able to rise to power because these guys are like, oh, sorry, we got requests from fucking planets that are already registered and we can't even fulfill those. Like, come on, like. So I love seeing like just how
I love
unorganized that
seeing
shit
the
is.
guy the guy who played a cannibal in Brooklyn Nine-Nine come in and be
Tim Meadows.
Yeah, Tim Meadows.
Weird touch point for Tim Meadows, but whatever.
Yeah, it's always the first role I go to, you know.
Oh, see, my first role for him was gonna be the opposing coach in the Benchwarmers.
That's right.
oh yeah, yeah.
M12, like, and there's just a $5 bill.
It's not even my first one. It's just that him being the cannibal in Brooklyn Nine-Nine has always stuck out to me. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But I do love seeing how like bureaucratic the New Republic is. Right? They're ineffective. You can see them both wanting to be able to kind of rule in an efficient way, but not do it like exactly the way that the Empire did. But when you want sort of like two things, you end up not really having either. And it's we already know, of course, what happens later down the line, thanks to the sequel movies. But I love that this is kind of doing the same thing that we've seen with like the Clone Wars and the way that expanded on the prequels, in that we get to see exactly how the First Order were able to come to power. And even though, like, you know, things change, the more things change, the more they stay the same as well. And how tumultuous the Star Wars universe can be. I like that this show is creating the space to kind of like bolster the stories that we already have, that we know that come further down the line, and see how these things came about. And that's always really fun. It's something that Star Wars has always done really well, I think, and I mean, since the Disney takeover, they've killed it at doing this, and they continue to in this way, and that's really really fun. Although it kind of breaks your heart a little bit, right? Like seeing the good guys like look real imperial, like
Yeah.
damn, like y'all didn't learn.
Yeah. So
and then like literally having an Imperial amongst them, like self-sabotaging and shit like that. Like, damn.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, this is, I think, what lined up kind of the rest of the season for me in my head, where like you're not the first person I heard make the comparison that this is doing what the Clone Wars show did for the prequels, as this is going to be doing for the sequels. And then also remembering like what the plot points were in season 1 and season 2. I think it's really starting to all add up. That, and I was also doing the math. Like I paused the show at one point. I was like, when did the First Order take over? And like, where are we now? The First Order takes over, I think, in 29 ABY. This is 9 ABY. So we're about 20 years before they start.
So this would be approximately 25 years prior to like the Force Awakens, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the Force Awakens is almost exactly 30 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. And I think it's really interesting that they're showing it now, because I think that they are showing how the politics were set up to fail.
Yeah.
But obviously it's going to take longer because you have a whole galaxy. But I think they're also going to show us like the other stuff of like, they're obviously going to come back to the cloning shit.
Oh yeah.
Right. And Moff Gideon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Speaking of, I'm glad you brought that up, because I would like to take the last 5-6 minutes or so that we have here to kind of theory craft a little bit, which has been very difficult this season because it's been curveball after curveball plot wise. But we see at the end of this episode, our Ranger of the New Republic come across a derelict Lambda shuttle, wherein they discover that this was the transport that was supposed to take Gideon to jail. Didn't happen. Looks like he got busted out. What's that in the wall? It's Beskar metal. Bum bum.
So, before that, I don't know if y'all caught this, and maybe I should go back and freeze frame on it myself. Looks like we see the back of a severed BD head.
I saw it too, and it made me very sad.
You saw it too?
Yep.
Right? The fucking
I didn't notice
disrespect.
that.
The second time we see it live action, it's just fucking beheaded and just floating there. That
BD-headed.
BD headed. I was shedding it too, bro. It's like, it's sad, man. It's sad. I'm glad I'm not the only one that I had my Leonardo DiCaprio.
I saw it
last night.
Right?
I've seen that back of that head so much on the top of my little shoulder.
Yeah.
Bro, we can use it as binoculars in Jedi Survivor. In one of the IGN trailers, BD hops up on Cal's arm, and then he just puts the back of his head up to his eyes, and he uses it as binoculars. This game's gonna be fucking awesome.
So dope.
Anyway,
the TV department is jealous that the video game department got the best droid, and we're like, we're just gonna kill him.
we're just gonna take the head off of it.
Still, but
yeah, that droid BD headed. Anyway,
conversation.
the question that I posed to our panel today: who freed Gideon? Thoughts?
Ooh.
I have a thought myself, but I want to hear it from you guys first. Because there's a lot of ways this can go.
Part of me thinks it's the armor, just because I still don't fully trust her. I know we had this whole sequence with her, having that heel turn, like that turnaround with Bo-Katan and sending her on this mission to gather the rest of the loose Mandalorians. And so I think she's like playing some chess. I don't 100% trust her still.
I like that. Okay.
So hence why, if not her, maybe Sasha Banks, because she turned her back on my gal Bo-Katan. But yeah, I think we might build up to getting some more Mandalorians to come around, and then the armor being like, "Fuck you, kill these outliers," or inciting some sort of civil war. In which this episode, I was like, I just recently watched Book of Boba Fett. That show's great. I could go for some more Boba Fett. I could go for some more Timothy Oliphant. And honestly, if they show up at some point when we're gathering loose Mandalorians, my God, dude, I'm I'm cooking.
Spice. Spicy cook over there, baby.
I
That's
want
what
it. I want it
Yeah,
so
all right,
bad.
all right,
I want it so
all right.
bad.
All right. Anybody else?
My-
Thoughts and ideas?
Just a couple. Like nothing too crazy. Like one thought I did have just kind of off the cuff was Paz Vizsla
Ooh.
potentially.
Okay, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's a good one.
Because like thinking more of like getting him out just to get revenge on what he did, just because like we had that whole fight, the previously on segment at the beginning. I don't know, yes, but I always watch those two just because you never know what they might throw in there, just to like what context for the episode. But yeah, he had the moment from season 2, or no, it might have even been from Book of Boba Fett, where they had the where it was Din, the armor, and Paz Vizsla talking about like Moff Gideon and like what he did to Mandalore and the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
So my thought was maybe he went to get him just to make sure like I don't know, whatever he wanted to have happen happens.
Like jail's not good enough for
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
for him. Like I'm gonna punish him. Okay, interesting.
Mhm. And the other thing was just maybe just some remnants of Death Watch, maybe just getting some maybe a little team up there.
I'm glad you said that.
There has been some rumors about that.
I'm glad you said that
the
because I
one
have
Irish
a
guy.
theory, right? If you will, a theory.
Mhm.
Allow me to paint a picture for you.
All right.
Let's go back to the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian. We see one Bo-Katan Kryze who fails to secure the Darksaber from Din Djarin. Bo-Katan, of course, is accompanied by 2 other Mandalorians, Koska Reeves and Axe Woves, who we learn at the beginning of season 3 not around anymore. Weren't happy with the way things were going for Bo-Katan and the lack of leadership that she's been showing. Now, we do also know, of course, that we have an Imperial amongst our ranks, right? There someone is sus among us in the fucking New Republic. If you wanted to free your leader and make sure that that couldn't be traced back to you, hire Mandalorians. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's got a bone to pick with the current way that the Mandalorians are run? Koska Reeves and Axe Woves. That's my thought. I think they were hired to free Gideon by what's her face on Coruscant.
Kane?
Thank you. God, Elia Kane. Yes.
So I have a slightly different angle on a maybe similar outcome as you, Chris.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to matter who actually committed the heist.
Sure.
Whether it be
He's out.
somebody who
Doesn't matter
managed,
either way. Yeah, he's there.
It could be, yeah, it could be that they hire Mandalorians. It could be that somebody, it's not like every single piece of Beskar is in their hands. We know that that's not the case. Do we know what happened to the spear from the end of season 2?
Yeah, it got
Does he
melted
still
down
have it?
into Grogu's shirt.
Oh, the chainmail?
Yeah.
Okay. But like there's still other examples of like some Beskar not
There's
being
Beskar
there.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that it may be if the people that are still in the background of this remains of the Empire that's going to become the First Order, if they wanted to frame the Mandalorians, so again, it's not important. It's just that these are people who want Moff Gideon back to continue whatever was going on in season 2. It's not the who that's important. I think the fact that this guy said, I'm not going to reveal your location, sees that there is Beskar here, goes back to the New Republic with this evidence and is kind of building his case for, I think that the Empire still exists, but now thinks maybe it's the Mandalorians. That's why we get the shots of Mandalore getting bombed. It's probably by the New Republic. And basically using the Mandalorians as a scapegoat really is good for the remains of the Empire that can then turn into the First Order because they're distracted by the wrong people.
Very interesting.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen Rebels, but these rumors and speculations have come up on the TikTok FYP a little bit too much the last couple weeks in terms of people being like, hey, you should refamiliarize yourself. Looking at a little Fen Rao. What,
Oh,
what
yeah,
was
yeah,
his?
yeah, yeah.
his
So
name.
Finn Rao's from Rebels.
He was. He's rumored to be coming back.
Finn Rao would be really
heard.
interesting. Yeah, within
I've seen
Rebels, I mean, he
his
was
name come
somebody
up.
that yeah, essentially worked with the Empire to secure control over Mandalore, right? So I mean,
Right.
yeah, thematically that fits, and I don't remember who voiced him in the show, but it was somebody pretty famous if I remember correctly.
It's the same guy who played Soap in the OG Modern Warfare trilogy. Like
Oh,
that's how
yeah.
I always picked up on that voice, and then I think he's in
So-
Grey's Anatomy as well. But like
Kevin
another,
McKidd.
Similar to Bo-Katan, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they did model his face after the actor that voices him. So I mean, yeah, they could just drop
Literally,
him
so-
right in.
yeah, I think
Which
I
could
think
also
that
be our into
might be
something
it.
else that Alex spoke to me about prior to the show, which is who stood up against Finn Rao? Sabine Wren did.
Sabine.
Oh my god,
We're
dude,
getting Sabine this
We're
season.
eating,
Like
we're eating.
We
way
got to
this-
begin Sabine.
the way the
She's
show
been
ended.
cast. She's gonna be in Ahsoka.
Well, she's
we
been
got
cast.
Zeb. She's
well, all
gotta
that,
be
but
here.
then, like they literally said, bring the exiled Mandalorians here.
Yeah,
Why do I think Sabine dies?
not a clue,
No.
but yeah, like
Not
between like between
Very much
next
not dead.
episode being a Bryce Dallas
Bryce Dallas
Howard joint, and then that leads to our penultimate episode, and the last two episodes are directed by the same guy, so we're getting like a two-parter finale, I think, basically, or like a setup to a fucking finale. So
Mhm.
I think these last three episodes, I think we're, oh my god, dude, I can't wait.
There's only 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
How are
yeah.
the
Which
season
means
gone so
you-
quick?
which means that they're going to be firing on all cylinders at this point, because the ends of the Mandalorian seasons are always absolutely
Oh
excellent.
yeah.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for watching this week. Please let us know how you felt about this episode. Who and why do you think freed Gideon? Let us know down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual fun stuff. And also go watch Bad Batch. It just had its finale today too. Just excellent Star Wars. If you haven't, also watch
That's my plan
Rebels.
after we're done
It's
recording.
going to be important. That's all I'm saying. It's huge. The Ahsoka show is literally the sequel to Rebels. There's Rebels characters appearing in Mandalorian. Go watch it. Really good show. We love you guys. Thank you so
They're
much.
space
We will
whales.
see you at the next waypoint. Oh, I get to turn it off now, don't I?